Today we're at the London offices of Bazaarvoice, the global leader in consumer-generated content. When we buy something, a genuine recommendation is one of the strongest influences on our purchase decision. People's ratings and reviews, photos, videos and comments are a goldmine for consumers, brands and retailers. But all of that content needs to be managed, moderated and mined for insights. And that's where Bazaarvoice comes in. With me now is Jean Austin, Chief Executive of Bazaarvoice. Hello.
Hi Sarah, good to be with you.
So basic question first, people perhaps don't realise how huge consumer-generated content is, what it encompasses. What does it include?
Well, CGC includes ratings and reviews, photos, videos, Twitter feeds, or any other type of social content oriented around products and in some cases services. It's a very fast-growing phenomenon. In fact, we have around 5,000 websites that our customers represent. They are brands and retailers. And in those 5,000 websites, every day 180,000 reviews are submitted. So consumers are really engaged in reviewing products on a worldwide basis.
So why is all this content so valuable to brands, to retailers, and also to consumers?
Well, for retailers and brands, they have two different goals, but at the heart of it is that consumers trust each other more than they trust any other part of marketing. In fact, on a review, you're actually engaging with a complete stranger, but yet you can size up the individual's review and say, boy, that's a lot like me. Those are the same attributes I value in a product. And that creates a lot of trust and consumer confidence. And that confidence results in higher purchases on retail sites. And at the same time, brands are looking firsthand at feedback on their products from consumers so they can go back and make better products or perhaps correct something about a product that's currently in market. So it's that line of connection with the consumer that's so important.
Now, authenticity is key, isn't it? How do you make sure that all this content is authentic?
It is important because like with anything socially, you have to guard against fake content. And we do have the phenomenon at times of what's called fake reviews. But we have put in place a whole program that we call our Bazaarvoice Trust Mark, where we label each site with our trust mark to ensure the consumer as they're shopping that the content on this site is trusted. And we do that because we have a multi-layered approach to look at all photos, videos, and reviews, both technologically as well as by human beings. On the technological front, we look for things like keyboard fingerprints. So someone submits 5 reviews in one day, that's usually unusual. So we'll hold those aside and allow a moderator, which is an individual, to actually look at it and validate that yes, these are good reviews. We moderate around appropriateness of the content, making sure people are on point. We don't moderate out negative reviews because that's part of authenticity. Good and bad reviews really validate and make consumers more confident.
And you're doing this in several languages, aren't you?
We do. We do it in 37 different languages because we've gotten reviews from over 180 countries worldwide. So we have to have a broad base of language support.
And certain types of content require more human moderating. Tell me about that.
Well, the visual content is harder to moderate from technology standpoint at this point in time. We're working on technologies to do that, but if we're looking at a pair of shoes, it takes the human being to make sure that that pair of shoes is indeed for that brand, because shoes can tend to look alike, as an example.
Well, Jean, thank you very much.
Sarah, enjoyed being with you.
With me now is Pralini Udayan-Kieki, who is VP of Marketing for EMEA at Bazaarvoice. Hello.
Hi there.
So you have 5,000 plus clients, and most of the big brands know that they need to harness consumer-generated content. So what are some of the better ways that this is being done?
So there's different ways consumer-generated content is being used today. So it's text-based content or it's visual-based content. Different clients, if we use Waitrose as an example, take it between online and offline. So they collect all the reviews online. They actually have a top 20 rated products, and in the store they actually have a section which is loved by you. So if you walk into the store, you can actually see this consumer generated content come to life.
And what are some of the insights that brands can get from CGC?
There's different ways people collect insights today. Insights can be used to determine which products have defects or manufacturing issues, ones that they need to improve on, but also they can see which are best-selling products and areas for improvement or innovations in the future. If you like, I can give you an example. John Lewis had an example of what they call the smelly pillow story. So they had some pillows, and they actually, the duck feathers would get wet at certain times of the year and the pillows would smell. And so it got really bad ratings, like 1 out of 5. But through the back end, through the dashboard, they were able to see this product that wasn't selling and getting the negative reviews. And from there, they went back to the manufacturers. They changed the pillow and relaunched the pillow. But they actually wrote back to every one of the customers that gave the feedback, and they sent out new pillows. So the intent to purchase actually went up for this particular pillow because people saw John Lewis was actually responding to the feedback received.
So that's what's happening now. What's next? What is the future of CGC?
It's interesting because often we talk about personalisation becomes key. So today we are often served up from an advertising perspective, a lot of brand communications, brand ads and retargeting. But what we need to look for much more is much more consumer content used in advertising and also product recommendations. So in the ways that may come about is to take some of the content that people are serving up in the consumer generated content. I'm more likely to trust something from someone saying this is a great insurer than insurance companies saying this is the #1 insurance provider.
And how do you keep up with the explosion, really, of new technologies and social platforms?
So a big part of keeping up is to make sure that you're moving forward as an organisation. For us, we're a 12-year-old organisation. We started off with ratings and reviews, and then as people started to interact with social sites such as Facebook and other areas, we introduced other technologies such as questions and answers. And then when Instagram and Pinterest became really big, we introduced that visual CGC. So just in the Bazaarvoice network alone, in the last 2 years, we've seen an explosion where we've gone from 1.2 million photos being shared to 17.5 million photos just being shared in the last year alone.
So you're building hundreds of millions of profiles of individuals, what they buy, where they buy it. What are some of the challenges and benefits of this?
Well, the big thing is, a big part of is data. So we need to be careful from a data perspective that we don't know specifically it's you, Sarah, or your specific age group and what you're doing, but it's more a profile to say it's female age within this age bracket and you've recently done some purchasing. And that purchasing can be you've bought a pair of shoes, and rather than be served up ads for more shoes, you're served up ads for running accessories and running clothing in other areas. That's where the benefits come through from this whole recommendations and the future of that personalisation.
So businesses need to show consumers the benefits of sharing this data?
Correct. It's not necessarily up to the consumers sharing the data, because data is being collected today if you think about Google and algorithms and other areas. But the data today for our customers is owned by the brands and the retailers themselves. So we're working with the brands and retailers so they see the benefit of being part of this network where they're able to personalise what they're sharing up to their customers.
Well, Pralini, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.